Hello gamers, this is your boy Nasty Naz here for another YouTube fantastic video. This video is going to be a little bit different than than the other ones. This isn't necessarily going to be me playing a game and have you guys watch my match. This is going to be a little bit different. This will be video number 2 in case you've been following my videos. I recently saw a video from one of the YouTube Smite gamers that I like to watch on YouTube. That's Solo Double J. So that's a shout out to him. Been following him for a little while now. I think he's pretty funny. He recently posted a video similar to something that I've always wanted to do, but again, I'm kind of new to the whole recording of videos, but I've always wanted to do this, and so kudos to him. He kind of did it, and I thought it'd be a cool idea to give my take on it. But he recently came out with a video where he kind of talked about, now that Smite's entering its new season, some things that he'd like to see changed. And I watched his video. I thought it was pretty good. I agreed with a lot of what he said. But that led me, to putting some of the things that I've always wanted to see addressed, wish was changed on paper, and see what I could come up with. And so this video is going to be my top 7 things that I'd like to see changed with Smite. Now, I've been around Smite since the very beginning. I was one of the original players. Been around back when it first came out in beta. When there was 10 gods. So I've been around for a while now. I've seen a lot of changes with Smite. And some of these things that we're going to talk about are relatively new. Some of them, have been an issue since the very beginning. But in this video, again, it's going to be my top 7 things that I'd like to see addressed and or changed in Smite. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. So number 1 on the list for me, my first thing that I thought needed to be changed, actually, in all honesty, might have actually been fixed with the whole cross-platforming. So before the whole cross-platform came about, one of the issues that I saw was very long queue times. So when you go in here, you can actually see the queue times. None of them are outrageous. So it's only been a couple days now, so it may be a little too soon to speak on this. But as you can see, none of them are really that unrealistic, Siege being 4 minutes. But up until recently, what you would see is, Conquest was an average of 5 to 6 minutes. Siege was like 8 minutes or more usually. Ranked was kind of up there. As you can see, Ranked Conquest is 8 minutes. I don't know anybody that wants to wait 8 minutes, but for the most part, the queue times are relatively back to being normal, 2 to 3 minutes. So again, it's only been a couple days, so hopefully, fingers crossed, this has been fixed. But I know that before this whole cross-platforming thing, queue times were pretty bad. Siege was usually 6 to 8 minutes. Conquest, it was like 5 to 6 minutes, and no one wanted to wait around for that. So Siege and Conquest didn't get picked very much. So fingers crossed, hopefully that's fixed now. We can go back to having some decent, relatively normal queue times. But again, this was something that I wanted changed for a while now, but maybe they fixed that. So number 2 on the list is something that maybe some of you guys will agree with, maybe some of you won't agree with. I'm pretty interested to see what you guys have to say. So definitely leave some comments. Let me know which way your thinking is on this. If you agree with me, if you don't agree with me, if you have a better solution. But here's number 2. So in my previous video, I kind of stated what some of my favorite play styles were. I like Clash, I like Assault, I like Joust. Conquest is I have no problem with Conquest as long as I'm playing with a party. But if I'm not playing with a party, I don't favor Conquest too much, because you just get people who complain about roles, about people not doing the right thing. People don't tell you when enemy gods are missing. I typically play mid, so I get ganked a lot because people can't tell me enemy missing right or left. But anyway, like I said, Conquest is fine in my opinion if you're in a party. If not, it can be a little bit of a challenge. I actually like Siege too. Siege is pretty cool, but I never seem to get a competent team in Siege. But what Arena is, yeah, I don't really like Arena too much. But one thing that I would love is I'd love to play more ranked. I said in my previous video some of the issues I had with ranked, but I'll just repeat them right now real quick. The issue that I have with ranked is if you're not playing in a party, if you're not playing with your friends, I don't like the way ranked is set up. So if I'm playing ranked Joust, and I've played it before, I don't know why, but I always end up picking last. I don't know why that is. I don't know if there's some reason behind it. I always thought it was supposed to be random, but for some reason I always get the third pick. And we all know that usually the first two picks are not going to pick tank. So that usually leaves me as having to pick a tank, which is fine on occasion. Now, I'm not the best tank in the world, but it's my preference is if you're going to play ranked, you play a role that you're really good with. So why would you want me to play tank when I could better play a hunter or a mage? So what do? They pick a hunter, they pick a mage, and they leave me with having to pick a tank. And if I don't want to pick a tank, they get full-blown upset, cursing me out. You mother effer, why can't you pick? Well, you didn't pick blah, 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 blah. And I just don't want to hear that crap. So I really don't like that you can't just pick a god and like if it wasn't ranked. Like, why do you have to pick in order? I don't understand that. I mean, I get that when you pick in order, you can see what they pick and then you can kind of counter it, and that's kind of cool. I mean, in my opinion, that's stupid. I think, in all honesty, in my opinion, ranked should be the exact same setup as normal Conquest, as normal Joust, just it being ranked. That's my opinion. If it was like that, I would play ranked a whole lot more. And I would love to play it too, because I would love to see where some of my favorite gods to play, like where I line up in that, you know, like what am I wouldn't go as far to say I'm the best Anubis in the entire world, but I'd like to see kind of where I rank. And some other gods, Artemis, things like that, Scylla, Zeus. But in my opinion, I would like to see ranked get changed a little bit, the way the layout is. And I don't understand. I understand the banning of the gods in Joust. I mean, in Duel, because it can be a challenge. Like, I understand that, like, there's certain gods that when you're going up against them 1v1, it can be a little bit of a challenge. I get that, so I understand the whole banning on that side of it. I'm not really sure why you need the bans in Conquest or Joust. I mean, it's a team thing. So, I mean, you pick gods that's going to support your team, and I don't really understand the whole banning. So, but I understand it in Duel. That I do understand. And, one person had said this, and I kind of agreed with them in a video, but it would be cool if they made it so that when you play ranked, and say you pick like a mage, like maybe you could like pre-pick your god beforehand, and once you pick, like, say someone picks Scylla, whatever. Say someone picks a Scylla, and Smite would kind of pair you with someone of like equal nature. You know what I mean? Like, you'd go up against another mage or something like that. Or if you pick a tank, maybe you go up against another tank. I don't really know. Maybe that wouldn't work because, you know, sometimes it's fun to go tank against, you know, assassin or something like that. But I just, I don't know. I just think that ranked could be done a whole lot better. I just really don't like the way the setup is right now. That's my opinion. Please feel free to give me what your opinion is. If you have a better solution, if you agree with me, maybe you don't agree with me. Again, I want my videos and my channel to be a little bit more interactive than a lot of the YouTube gamers out there right now. So I'm going to be looking at your comments. I'm going to be looking at what you say. I'm going to be replying back to you. So feel free to leave some comments if you agree with me, if you don't agree with me, if you have a better solution. But I just really don't like the way ranked is set up right now. So that's going to lead us into number 3. So again, Smite's been out for about 6 or 7 years now, and it's pretty common to say, it's pretty well known to say that Smite still has some bugs that they need to work out. There's another thing I'm going to talk in here on my list that this same issue would address. So I think it's a good one to take into consideration. But like Solo Double J actually said this too, and I completely agree with him. Smite used to have 10 gods. Now we have like 100 gods. So we're definitely not lacking in the god selection area department. But yet Smite still wants to come out with a new god every couple months. So not that I have necessarily anything wrong with that, but Smite seems to be focusing so much on skins and gods. And skins are, yeah, they're cool. They make the god look cool, but, I just think they spend too much time focusing on skins, and that time could be better spent fixing some of the bugs, fixing this awful, horrible new layout that they have, buffing some gods, debuffing some gods, coming out with maybe some new items. So that's another thing I'm going to talk about. But I just think that Smite needs to focus a little less time on skins and new gods and just sit back, look at what they already have, fix some of their bugs, fix this horrible, atrocious new layout that everyone hates, and just get Smite back to the game that we all knew and loved. So that's number 3 on the list, which is going to lead into number 4. So if they do that, if they do that, I think it would also help with this one. So right now, we're going to talk about relics. So almost every single match I ever play in Smite, whether it be Clash, Arena, Joust, everybody gets the same relic. And it's so annoying. It's the same 4 relics in every single match. And come on, guys, you know the ones I'm talking about. Come on, say them with me. Beads, Aegis, Blink, or Bracer. Always the same 4. And it's almost always the same too. You could actually kind of narrow that down and just say it's almost always Beads and Aegis, which is so annoying. I mean, if you're playing almost a majority of the gods now, because almost every god has a CC now, a stun, a root, a CC, you can just Beads or Aegis it. And it's just so annoying. I mean, come on, Smite. Don't you see that? It's been the same for years now. Everyone picks the same relic. I don't know hardly anybody that picks anything different. I mean, maybe if you're going and playing Assault, you're going to get healing. If you're a tank, once in a blue moon, I'll see a tank with Shell. But usually it's Beads, Aegis, or Bracer, or Blink. And I just think that if Smite, again, stepped away from worrying about new skins and new gods, they could come out with some better relics and make the game a little bit more unique, a little bit more fun, a little bit more different than what it is currently. So number 5 is going to be maybe possibly another topic of debate. Not this new platform that they came out with, but the previous platform when they switched to that. Me and my friends, we got to talking, and we kind of all agreed on this. And that was when they came out with not this platform but the previous one. The matchmaking when you're in a party was horrendous. I don't know what it was. I kind of thought that Smite was supposed to pair you with people similar in your level. Like, as you can see here, I'm level 123. I would be higher, but I took, a year and a half off of Smite back around season 3. So I thought it was supposed to be matching you with people with similar levels, which kind of would make sense. But that wasn't the case, because we tested that, and we would ask, like, the random person in our matches, like, what level are you? Or we'd see it at the end of the match, and they'd be like level 20, level 40, level 60, nowhere near our levels. And so that wasn't the case. And it seemed to be mainly just when you were in a party. Because if you played by yourself, it was kind of still normalish. But if you played and you were in a party, it didn't matter if you were in Clash and you were a party of 2 or a party of 3 or more. It seemed as long as you were in a party, and that could be Clash, it could be Joust, that you always ended up getting, either you were the team wiping the other team, like the other team was playing like complete noobs, or you were the ones that were like going up against what seemed to be like pro leaguers who play this game all night and day. They play it for money, they play it as a career, and they go to competitions. Because I can't tell you how many times, I would join a party with me and a buddy, or we'd have a party of 2, we'd have a party of 3, and we would just absolutely get wiped off the face of the earth. I mean, it wouldn't even be close. Every once in a while, we would be that team, and we would wipe them off the face of the earth. But it never seemed to be balanced. It was never like a close game or anything like that. It just always seemed to be unfair as long as you were in a party. So I don't know if you guys have experienced the same thing. Again, I've talked to numerous friends of mine, and they all agree with that. So, it's a relatively small pool for me to pull from. But I'd be interested to see if you guys had that same issue. So please feel free to comment on that as well, because I definitely think when they came out with the platform before this one, that they did something with matchmaking, that they claimed it was going to make matchmaking better, but it seemed to do the exact opposite. So on to number 6. Number 6 is something that I think they should have had this after year 1. I mean, they should have had this when the game was released to the public. It amazes me how we're going into like year, I think 7 now, and they still don't do this. And that's when you're practicing. When you go into training, isn't even training anymore. They should change training to tutorial. It's really not training. But when you go into custom and you want to, say, practice a new god, or you want to like help teach your friend a new god, you go in there and you can choose the gods that you want to go up against. You can choose which gods you want to have on your team, if you want to have gods on your team. But you can only choose from AI settings of easy or medium. And if you've ever done this, you know that medium is not even medium. Medium is more like little less, just a hair less stupid than easy. These gods, even on medium, will run straight at you, will act like they're intentional feeding, and I know it gives people a false sense of skill. Like, say you're new to Smite, you've kind of just started playing it, and you want to practice some gods. Well, you go and do that, and say you pick like Odin or something like that. It really doesn't matter who you pick. But say you pick a god, and most likely, even if you're relatively new to Smite, you're going to like destroy that enemy team because they're just so incredibly stupid. So you sit there and you're like, it doesn't even matter really what you build either. You could have a horrible build and you're still going to pretty much destroy the enemy team. I mean, I know when I do it, me and my buddy, I get like 20, 30 kills. My buddy gets like 20 kills. So why can't they offer better AI or a hard setting, which is basically the same thing, a better AI, and make it more realistic? I don't understand that. I mean, when someone plays that and they get that false sense of skill level, and then they go and play a normal match and they're like, oh, well, this build worked in custom, so I should build it, when it really doesn't actually work, that hurts the people that are playing with that person. And then you get people like, you're such a freaking noob. Oh, screw you. Go kill yourself. Blah, blah, blah. I hate you. Blah, 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 blah. And I think a lot of it stems from things like that. Like, people think that their build is good because they did it, they practiced it, and it worked. And then they don't realize that the AI is just so incredibly stupid. So why they don't freaking change that is beyond me. I mean, year, I think 7 now, and they still can't fix that. So, all right, number 7, and this is pretty much my last one. The new layout. All of my friends say it. I've talked to random people on Smite. They agree. This new layout is absolute garbage. It makes me want to freaking throw up. Why they changed it to this, I have no freaking clue. You would have to think that if they did any type of test phase and they showed it to current Smite players, that they would say, no, don't do this. So the biggest issue that I have with this is you pretty much now have to click on normal if you want to see all the matches, which is kind of annoying. But the biggest issue that I have is friends online. Used to be, when you go on here, you could see all your friends online, what type of match they were in, whether it be Clash, Conquest, whatever, and you could see how long they were in that match for. So if they were in a joust and it was 19 minutes in, you had a fairly good idea that it was going to end soon, and if you wanted to sit back and wait for them to finish up their match, you could do that. Can't do that anymore. Now if someone's on, you pretty much, it's a guessing game if they're available or not. So this person's in a match, cannot be invited. This person's in a match that cannot be invited. This person's in a match, cannot be invited. Well, how long are they been in that match? Should I wait for them to finish? I don't know. So now I have to send them a message and say, hey, how long have you been in your match? And they may or may not reply, because some people don't like replying while they're playing a game. I don't blame them. So since this whole new layout, I practically don't even play in parties anymore. You just can't do it. So stupid. Don't know why they did that, why they got rid of that. I mean, please, Smite, for the love of God, bring that back, because there is no reason whatsoever why you should have gotten rid of that. So that kind of wraps up my top 7. I have 2 minor things. I didn't really put them in my top list, but I do have 2 minor things that I wanted to ask people about. And that is spectating. If I want to, watch a friend's match, my friends say they have issues with this too, but when you click on spectate, it doesn't matter if they're 10 minutes into the game, 15 minutes into the game. Half the time, it doesn't work. It won't let you spectate. It just sits there and does nothing. When it does work, it takes you a good 3-4 minutes sometimes before it brings you into the game. Now, I understand, if they just started the match, Smite wants to wait a little bit, so that you can't, be giving anybody advice and whatnot. I kind of get that, but I've noticed that even when they're 10, 15, 20 minutes into the game, I click on spectate. Majority of the time, won't let you spectate. My friends say the same thing, won't let them spectate. So if you guys have that same issue, let me know. And the other issue that I have, this may be unique to me for some reason, but maybe other people have this issue too. But I used to be able to hit my Windows button on my keyboard, and I'm pressing it right now, and it used to take you out of the Smite and bring you back to your window bar. It doesn't do that anymore. I don't know. Some of my friends say that they don't have that issue, so I don't know if this is maybe a me thing or not, but it's, or if anybody knows how to fix it. If it is, I don't know, but it's really annoying, because if I get a call on Twitch or Discord or something like that, I pretty much have to Control-Alt-Delete, go to Task Manager, and then that'll take me out of the game, and then I go back into the game. It's really annoying. I used to not have to do that. I didn't change any settings, so If you guys have that same issue or you know how to fix that issue, please feel free to leave a comment. Let me know, because I'd love to be able to fix that. Other than that, guys, I thank you for watching my video. This has been my top 7 things that I wish Smite would fix or work on. And I wish everybody happy gaming. Please hit the like button if you like the video. Please leave some comments. I'm going to be going through them, responding to them. If you agree with anything that I say, please feel free to put that in there. I love to see people agree with me. If you don't agree with me, that's fine too. Put that in there, you know, and I'll read those as well. And other than that, happy gaming, guys. Please hit the subscribe button if you like this video, if you like my previous video. If there's anything else that you'd like me to video on, you'd like to see, I'm more than happy to do it. And other than that, guys, have a great day.